tutorial you will need your selected yarn. I'm using Stylecraft Special DK in the colour Aspen. You will need a crochet hook. I'm going to use a 5mm crochet hook just so you can see a bit more stitch definition as I'm showing you the stitch. You're going to need some scissors and a darning needle for finishing off and sewing in your end. To start off, you want to make a slip knot and insert your hook. This does not class as a stitch, and you want to chain your length or the width of your project, and you want to do this by chaining 1 and 2. So going to be working in multiples of 2, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 1 and 2. So you want to keep working those multiples of 2 until you get the desired length that you want. This is just going to be a sample piece that I'm doing, so mine's going to be a lot shorter than what yours would be. So if you want to pause the video, get to your length and then meet me when you're ready. So now I have my chain, and I've chained 20 just as a sample piece, and we're going to count 2 chains back from the hook. So we're not including this chain actually on the hook. So this is one and this is the second one. So we want to insert our hook, yarn over and pull through, and we have 2 loops on our hook. We're now going to stick with these 2 loops, and we're going to insert our hook into the next space. So insert, yarn over, pull through. So we have 3 loops on the hook. We're now going to insert into the next loop. So insert, yarn over, pull through. We have 4 loops on a hook, and we're going to do that twice more so that we end up with 6 loops on the hook. So into the next space, yarn over, pull through. Into the next space, yarn over and pull through. So we now have 6 loops on our hook, and I'm going to take the work here and just hold it between my fingers just to make this next step easier, because you're going to yarn over, and you want to make sure that the tip of the hook is turned downwards. If it's upwards or to the side, this will make it a lot harder. So turn your hook downwards, and you want to pull through all 6 loops on the hook, and that makes our star. So you then want to yarn over and pull through, and that finishes off that stitch. So this makes now the eye of the stitch, and then these stitches are the posts of the stitch. So what you want to do now is we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to gather 6 loops onto this hook. So your first one is going to go into the eye of the stitch. So you want to hold on to this loop here, insert your hook into the eye of that stitch, and yarn over and pull through. So we have 2 loops on the hook. We're then going to insert the hook behind the last post of this stitch. Okay, so you have these posts, we're going to go in there. So insert your hook there, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on the hook, and then we're going to insert the hook into the base of the last post. So you can see here how this chain has become a lot bigger. It's because it's got a stitch in there. So we're going to insert our hook there, yarn over and pull through. We now have 4 loops on the hook, and then the last 2 stitches are going to be in the chain. Okay, so insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So each time we do a star, we're going to go 2 stitches into the chain. So you then want to yarn over, turn your hook downwards and pull through all 6 of those loops on the hook, and then we yarn over and pull through in order to tie off that particular stitch. So I'll just show you that again. So we've got 1 loop on our hook. You want to go into the eye of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, behind the last post of the stitch, so insert, yarn over, pull through, into the base of the last stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then into the next 2 chain spaces. So insert, yarn over, pull through, and insert, yarn over, pull through. So we now have 6 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, turn our hook downwards, and then pull through all 6 loops on the hook, and then yarn over, pull through to secure that stitch. So you want to repeat that all the way along to the very end of your chain. So get to your last one and I shall show you what to do at the end of this row. So I'm at the end of my row. I've just got my last 6 chains on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. I'm then going to yarn over and pull through to secure that stitch, and then we want to do a half treble crochet in this very last stitch. So this would be known as a half double crochet in the US. So you want to yarn over, insert your hook into that last chain, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on that hook. You then want to chain 1 and turn your work. So this next row is going to be really easy. All you want to do is insert your hook into the base of that very stitch that you've just done. So it's just down here. It might be a little bit fiddly. You might just want to stretch out the stitch slightly in order to get it in there. So insert your hook, pull through, and then pull through for a double crochet. That's known as single crochet in the US. We're then going to be working into the eyes of the stitches from the previous row again. So for the first eye, you want to just insert your hook straight in there, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your double crochet, known as single in the US. So we're just going to do that for the very first one. Now for all of the other eyes, we are going to put 2 double crochets in there. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then again into the next one, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Work your way to your very last eye and I shall show you how to finish off that particular row. Okay, so I've just done my last eye, so 2 double crochets in that last eye. You're then just going to insert your hook into the top of the chain from the previous row, so just here, and just do 1 double crochet. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is a 2-row repeat, so we're just going to repeat those same 2 rows again. Now obviously the first time you did the very first row, that was just from the initial chain. I'm going to show you how you would do it from now on. So if at this point you wanted to change colours, you could tie off and then just reattach and then just work from this point here. So you want to chain 2 and turn your work. So now we've chained 2 and you just want to take a close look at your chains on the hook. We're not going to be working into this next chain down. You actually want to insert your hook into the chain underneath that really loosely and yarn over and pull through. Try not to pull tight here. You're then going to insert your hook into the next chain down. So insert, yarn over and pull through, so you have your 3 loops on the hook, and then you're going to insert your hook into the base of that chain. So insert, yarn over and pull through. So then we have the 4 loops on our hook, which we would do normally when we was working through the various sections of the stitch. So you will only have to do this when you do your first star stitch on each row. So we have our 4 loops on the hook, and then you can just continue as normal by inserting your hook into the next space, yarn over, pull through, and then into the next space, yarn over, pull through. We have our 6 loops on the hook. Grab your yarn and pull through all 6 loops on the hook to make your stitch, and then secure your stitch by yarn over and pull through. So that is our first one, and then you're just going to continue as normal. So insert your hook into the eye of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, behind the last post, yarn over, pull through, into the base of that last post, yarn over, pull through, and into the next 2 stitches, insert, yarn over, pull through, insert, yarn over, pull through. Then it would just be a case of yarn over, pull through all 6 loops on the hook, and yarn over, pull through in order to secure that stitch, and you would just carry on as normal and keep building your rows, 2 rows at a time, in order to create that really pretty star stitch. Once you've got to the end of this row, it may look like you've got a big gap between your last stitch and then the end of the stitch. That is quite normal because we've actually got the same amount of stitches in the first row as we have in the second row. So all you'll do is do a half treble in this last section here. So that's half double in the US. So it's yarn over, insert your hook into the top of that last stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work, and then do a double crochet into that same stitch. Again, it might just be a little bit tight, so you might just have to wiggle your stitches in order to get it in there. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and like before, that very first eye that you work into, you just do 1 double crochet. So insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 doubles into each of the next eyes all the way across, and then 1 double into the very end, and that is just your stitch repeat. I really do love the look of this stitch, and I do like it when the colours are actually changed from row to row. I think it looks really pretty. You could make anything with this. You could make a scarf, you could make an afghan. So I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to keep up to date with any of my latest videos. Leave me a comment down below of any tutorial requests, and I shall see you again next time. Thanks, bye!